Two Chairs No Waiting, episode number 397. 8 years of Two Chairs No Waiting, plus some feedback. Two Chairs No Waiting is brought to you each week by the fine folks over at weaversdepartmentstore.com. Go by over at Weavers and check out things. It's the holiday seasons are coming. You got Halloween, and as part of Halloween, why don't you go over and check out the old man Rimshaw print? Maybe you want that to hang over your fireplace and let the eyes follow you around. If not, maybe you want to head over and get the Andy Griffith Show Christmas special, the colorized DVD version of the shows that were shown last year. Head over to weaversdepartmentstore.com and pick them up. Two Chairs No Waiting is also brought to you by donations from listeners just like you. The executive producer of Two Chairs No Waiting, episode number 397, is Keith Brown. Hello, everybody. I'm Alan Newsom, your host for Two Chairs No Waiting. I hope you guys are as fired up as I am about this. Wow, 8 years I've been doing the podcast. So I either have to be fired up or tired. I don't know which it should be. But 8 years. October 11th, 2008 was when the very, very first episode of Two Chairs No Waiting hit the internet, I guess is what you'd say, not the air. It wouldn't be the air that it hit. So it's just, it's amazing to me that it's been going so long, all this time. But as part of that, I want you to hear what it sounded like when we started. Okay. So this is I'll play it low to start with because it's our theme music again. So let's go ahead and play it. There we go. Our theme music has been the same. The Mayberry Band, thank them so much for the theme music they provide us every week. And this is from episode number 1 back on October 11th, 2008. So check out how excited I sound. Hello and welcome to Two Chairs No Waiting, episode 1. My name's Alan Newsom, and I want to thank the Mayberry Marching Band for their wonderful rendition of our theme song. I'm sure you all enjoyed that. You know, especially enjoyed Floyd and whoever it was Andy gumping in the back there, but that's looked good. Really good. This podcast is about the Andy Griffith Show and all things related to the Andy Griffith Show in Mayberry. For those that don't know me, my name is Alan Newsom. I'm the webmaster for Mayberry.com and several other Mayberry-related websites like the Andy Griffith Show Rion Watchers Club, which is tagsrwc.com. So anyway, that's the way it started off. You can hear the excitement in my voice as I got that first show going. I got to tell you guys, when we first started, that was I'd never done anything like this, recorded especially. So, you got to get used to your own voice, and you're trying to say things very properly and not do anything silly. So you're talking like that. Over time, I've gotten to where either because I've done so many episodes or because I just kind of don't care as much. I don't know. I'm a little more relaxed and just enjoy getting to spend time with you in Mayberry and talk about the Andy Griffith Show. I enjoyed it then. It was fun, but every week it was a challenge to try to get it right and understand what I was doing. It actually sounds pretty good as I listened to it there. It didn't sound a whole lot different than it does now, other than maybe I was a little more stiff, maybe. But what I was actually wearing back then, if you can picture this, now I have a microphone that stands in front of me, but back then I had some headphones that had a mic on it. And if I moved my head side to side or up and down or anything, you would hear a sound like this, where you scrape the mic with your face. Well, so that's probably one of the reasons I sound very quiet, because I couldn't move. I couldn't move around at all. And I don't know if you guys have ever been around me, but I tend to move around a lot, and my hands move as I talk. So that was probably cramping my style. Anyway, that was 8 years ago when it was released, October the 11th, 2008. Wow. Hard to believe. So on that same episode, let's see this. This is a good one. We'll listen to this whole thing probably. That same episode, we heard first from Floyd. So these are Floyd's comments. So Floyd, let's hear from you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Yeah. Hello there. How you doing? I've been listening to George there. I don't know him. Goober. I know who that is. Yeah. I don't know this other fella. But, Goober, he and I, he was a lot like me. Yeah, entrepreneur. Yeah. Started his own business, had a business. Yeah, bought it from Wally, but you know, yeah, he had to. You know, sometimes he'd forget to order the gas. Yes, yeah, not me. No, yeah, there was that time I forgot to get the shaving cream. Yeah. But I never did like the shaving cream anyway. The kind that came out of a bottle or something. Yeah, I always like to mix it in a cup. Yeah. I just like the sound. It makes it clip, clip. Yeah. I guess if you're not a barber, you might not understand. Yeah, that's all I have for today, I guess. And we'll see you later. Yeah, hey, drop by the barber shop. We'll get you a drink. Every head's a walking testimony. Yeah, bye.
Thank you, Floyd. So that's Floyd's comments from the very first episode of Two Chairs No Waiting. And the episode, if you don't know, if you've never heard it, you ought to go back and check it out. It was a George Lindsay interview as part one of several parts. But back then, when I first started, I tried to keep the episodes under, I don't know, about 10 to 15 minutes long, so that it was small enough for everybody to be able to download it. Now, 8 years ago, everybody still doesn't have broadband, but much more of the United States, at least, has broadband or some way to download things at a faster rate than they could even in 2008. So back in 2008, I tried to keep everything smaller and I tried to keep the episodes shorter. The other reason is back then, the topics I covered, I felt like I could actually cover in a shorter period of time. But over time, I got more talkative. And you guys that listen to the show or watch it on YouTube or watch it at twochairsnowaiting.com, don't seem to mind when it's about 30 minutes long. I try to keep them about 20 to 25 minutes. But every so often, the last couple of episodes have been about 30 minutes each. And speaking of how long they have been, I did a little calculations with the the folks over at the bank here at Mayberry. They did some calculations, and folks, there have been, before this episode that you're listening to now, there have been 134 hours. No. What is that? That's hours, minutes. Yeah. 134 hours, 5 minutes, and 43 seconds of podcast content. So that's how many episodes of all the episodes, all 396 episodes previous to this one. That is the total number of minutes. Now, I'll help you out and tell you that is 5 days, 19 hours, and 41 minutes of Two Chairs No Waiting content. Wow, that is a lot of content, and 8 years, that's how much. So if you go back and listen to every episode of Two Chairs No Waiting and listen to them for 24 hours a day, it'll take you 5 days, 19 hours, almost 20 hours, 41 minutes there. 19 hours and 41 minutes. Wow. We're heading for 6 days of Two Chairs No Waiting. Oh, that's a lot of listening to me. I don't envy you. I don't envy you. Don't do it all at one time. I don't know what that would do to you. It's bound to cause some kind of disorder of some type. But wow, that is a lot. Kind of hurts me when I look at it like that, because let me just tell you, minutes wise, the Andy Griffith Show itself, if we say they're all 26 minutes long, which that's close. If they're all 26 minutes long, there's only 4 days and 12 minutes of the Andy Griffith Show itself, the 249 episodes. So, ouch. I've been doing this for 8 years, which is how long the Andy Griffith Show ran. And the content is more. So, folks, I hope you enjoy it. I hope you have enjoyed all of this, the different things I've been able to uncover and do and talk about here on Two Chairs No Waiting have been absolutely amazing. And I thank you all for taking time to listen. Now, I will tell you that a year after the second anniversary, this one's kind of fun, so I wanted you to hear this. The second anniversary, or I guess it was the first anniversary. So it was 53, episode number 53, the first episode of the second year. We had Jan, my wife, came out and she kind of stole the podcast. So let's listen to this, because this is the only time really Jan's ever done anything on the podcast with me. I think she did one other thing maybe, but let's hear this. So it starts off the same way, same music we always have. But what happened was I was walking around and I saw Jan sitting here at my computer. And
hello, and welcome to Two Chairs No Waiting, your Mayberry podcast. This is episode number 53, and it's brought to you by Weaver's Department Store. You can visit weaversdepartmentstore.com. This is your host, Jan Newsom. Alan has not so much as let me even say boo on any of his podcasts, and like I said, this is episode 53, and I thought I would just kind of sneak in here and do a podcast for you guys. And I wanted to let you know about how much I've been enjoying the podcast and stuff, and it's been great to go back and listen to all the... What?
What are you doing?
Nothing.
Yeah. What are you doing, Jan?
I'm not doing anything. I'm just sitting here at your desk looking at the stuff you've got on here.
So you're trying to take over the podcast now, the second year?
No. Why would I do that?
I don't know.
Because you've let me talk on here so much. Why would I think about taking over your podcast?
I can't imagine.
Oh, come on.
Well, yeah, if you really want to do it, that's fine with me.
Well, I was just going to let the folks know about how much I've enjoyed the podcast. It's been great hearing all the interviews from all the fans of the show and the actors that were on the show, and all the great friends that we've made through the years, and it's just been a lot of fun reminiscing about everything.
Yeah, it has. It really has. So you're going to stay with me the whole time, or are you just going to be here at the beginning?
I don't know. Let's play it by ear.
Okay. So that was Jan still in my podcast to begin the second season of the show. Now, she did listen to it the first year. I don't know how many wives, because we don't have a lot of ladies that listen to the podcast, the best I can tell. But I don't know how many of you actually enjoy listening to everything your husband says. But I'm pretty sure Jan lost interest in the podcast at some point. Probably that first year I made her listen to it. So she had heard it. Then at some point, she doesn't listen anymore. She sits in there and watches TV and plays on her computer while I do the podcast, which is fine because she lets me do it. And so we all need to thank her for that. So I want to thank her for being on that one episode back in episode 53. That was fun to have her on there. Now, I got one more comment from Floyd. This was at the 1 year mark. I kind of like to play it because I don't remember what he said. So Floyd, take it away. He's got theme music now. Here he is.
Hey, hello there. Hey, it's Floyd Lawson. Floyd's Barbershop. Yeah. Congratulations on the 1 year. My episode was most popular. Yeah. So, if I was a host, you'd probably have more listeners. But anyway, I got a story that, Ernest T. came in the barbershop the other day. Yeah, barbershop. Yeah, he came in. He said he had a new computer. Yeah, here you go. Yeah, the new computer. Yeah, he said he couldn't remember his password. So I said, well, why can't you remember it? He reached into his pocket and pulled out a piece of paper and said, this is my password. I have to keep it written down. So I looked at it. No, on that piece of paper he had written Mickey, Minnie, Pluto, Donald, Daisy, Huey, Dewey, Louie, and Goofy. Yeah. I said, well, no wonder you can't remember your password. Look how long it is. Why'd you pick such a long password? And Ernest T. said, well, they told me it had to be 8 characters long. 8 characters. 8 characters. He meant that it's supposed to be letters or numbers, not Mickey Mouse character. Yeah. Well, anyway, I thought it was funny. Yeah. Anyway, congratulations on the 1 year, and just ask me back anytime if you need me to host. Yeah. Bye.
Way to go, Floyd. All right, so that's fun. 8 characters long. So there we go. I don't remember that joke. I need to remember that. Hey, that's funny. Hey, do you hear that on TV? Yeah, so I need to remember those. I need to write that down. So, folks, again, I want to thank you. 8 years of Two Chairs No Waiting have been a blast. It's been amazing, and I just can't thank you enough. Now, we're going to hear from Jennifer. Now, Jennifer had called in about Two Chairs No Waiting. The episode is, let's see, what is it? 392, which was the episode with Betty Lynn recently, where we were talking about her birthday and all that kind of stuff. Now, I got several emails from Jennifer, or not emails, voicemails from Jennifer, so I'm going to play a couple of them. So, Jennifer, go ahead and take this away, and we'll hear from her right here.
Hi, Alan. This is Jennifer from Toledo, Ohio. I just wanted to say thank you so much for your video of Betty Lynn's 90th birthday. I live far from Mount Airy, probably will never get there in my lifetime, and it was just awesome to see and be there. It'd be really neat to see some of Mayberry Days broadcasts like that, possibly. Maybe that's too much to ask. But it was really awesome, and thank you so much for doing that.
Thank you. And Jennifer did. She enjoyed it. She said she was able to watch the live version. So I did that podcast episode number 392 that was included those live reports. Let's see. We got another voicemail from her. Let's see, which one do I want to play? I think it's this one. So let's play this.
This is Jennifer from the Midwest again. I just finished the Betty Lynn's part 2 birthday tribute and watched Ronnie and Clint Howard ask if they could film some sort of tribute to her. And I am just always continuously amazed at their family's modesty and humbleness, and amazed that Rance and Jean, their mother and father, did such a fantastic job with those kids. And Ronnie has grown up to be a superstar, and Clint is a very acclaimed character actor, and they still are so self-deprecating and respectful, and just an amazing couple of guys.
All right, so she is so right. And one more comment from her, because she was very...
At the risk of sounding repetitive, I am so very grateful to have been able to be a part of this, to see this, and to have been a part of Betty Lynn's 90th birthday observation. This was so thrilling for me, period. Andy Griffith is my favorite show. I'm not a guy, which seems to be sort of an anomaly, I guess. I don't know. I'd like to see a poll of female versus... I think there was a poll, actually, and it was not very female sided. But so this female has loved the Andy Griffith Show and loves hearing Alan every week and the job he does. And this was particularly great to me. Thank you so much.
She is so right. There is a poll on the website. If you go there, you can vote. We've had 174, which is not indicative of all the listeners or viewers of the podcast. But of those, it's 78% men and 22% female. So it's male and female. So she is right. She is one of the few ladies that actually enjoy listening to my voice. I don't believe that it's true that women don't like the Andy Griffith Show. I think it may be true that maybe people just don't. There's not as many ladies that listen to podcasts. Maybe that is the actual problem. So Jennifer, thank you so much for taking the time to send in these comments. She actually sent 4, and one of them was very similar to the other, and it talked about how awesome I was. So I should have played that one because that's one of my favorites. But we'll be. I'm a humble man from a humble home with humble. I'm just all filled up with humbleness. But Jennifer, thank you so much for taking the time to send in voicemail, because I love hearing from you guys. All right, so next up we have one from Jerry Farley, and Jerry has this question.
Alan, this is Jerry from Coleman. I was watching an episode the other night, and Andy was smoking. Do you have any idea how many episodes that he smoked cigarettes? Love your show. Thanks.
All right, Jerry. Yes, I do. I have an idea. So here's if you go to our Mayberry facts over at mayberry.info, the facts are there. You can find them. Also, if you go to the Two Chairs No Waiting website, not there, I guess, but if you go to imayberry.com and go to the frequently asked questions section, it'll take you to the Mayberry facts, FAQs, over at that location. And if you go to the Andy section, you'll be able to find out the answer to this question, which how many times did we see Andy smoking? Well, off the top of my head, Paul Mulick came up with the answer to this. He said, off the top of my head, I can think of a few episodes in which Andy is seen smoking a cigarette. Quiet Sam, Jailbreak, Wedding Bells for Aunt B, Three's a Crowd, The Bookie Barber, Mr. McBeevy, Opie's Rival, High Noon in Mayberry, The Great Filling Station Robbery, Prisoner of Love, Cousin Virgil. He was smoking in the back room while he's waiting on Virgil. The Clubmen. He was at the very beginning. You can see him lighting up a cigarette. And Gomer the House Guest. And that makes 13 unless we've missed any. Okay. By the way, I think it's worth mentioning that this was before the dangers of cigarette smoking were widely known. In those days, Andy Griffith smoked in real life. Okay, so he smoked in real life. But he realized the dangers of his ways and stopped. But they are there. Gomer the House Guest, by the way, he was smoking in bed. Not good. But he quit smoking at some point, which was good for him. So thank you to Paul Mulick for having the answer to that. Folks, you can find a lot of answers to stuff if you head over to the Mayberry Facts there at the Mayberry Historical Society, mayberry.info. So you can go there, or you just go to imayberry.com and click the link there for frequently asked questions. There's a whole list of them. We went through some of them a few weeks ago here on the podcast, and we'll try to do that again later. But Jerry, thank you for taking the time to call that in, and I do appreciate it. All right, and let's see. I had a little bit more voicemail. This one is from Tim Bradshaw. Now, I can't remember if I've already played this, but he had a comment he wrote in too. So let's hear from Tim about this, and then I'll read his other comment.
Hey, Alan. This is Tim Bradshaw, Mr. McBeevy. I haven't been able to watch the live podcast for the last few weeks, but I did go back and look at the YouTube versions and really enjoyed the shows about what keeps Mayberry alive, and it really made me think about my own experience, and also something of a new revelation that came to me was, when I watched those shows originally when they were being aired in the 60s, I was a little boy, pretty much the same age as Opie, and it just really, I thought he was one of the neatest and luckiest kids in the world to be on a television show, especially a show like Andy Griffith. But, I wanted to let you know that one of the revelation that I had was, I didn't think about it until just the other day when I was watching these last few episodes. And, we had black and white TV up until about 1969, I think it was, or 1970. I think it was 69. But, I didn't know until we got color TV, that there were any color episodes. So all of the episodes that I had seen of Andy Griffith up until that time were all in black and white as far as I knew.
Yeah, that makes sense. So that cut him off because his time ran out there. But that was great a comment. I never really thought about that. I had a black and white TV growing up as well. I can't remember what year we actually got color one, except I do remember Fat Albert was on the day they delivered it, because I was watching Fat Albert cartoon in black and white, and they delivered this color TV and set it up, and boom, there was Fat Albert in color. Of course, I guess cartoons were all in color, but that's when I realized. So I guess I never really thought about it, that people watching on black and white TVs would have never really noticed the difference between the black and white and the color episodes of the Andy Griffith Show. So Tim also, he wrote in, because he had made that call in, and then he wrote in also to talk about episode number 396, the Mayberry Days Report. He said, another great podcast, Alan. Had a great time at Mayberry Days. Tim was there this year, and it was great to see you again, along with all the others, the other tribute artists. The time just goes by too fast. That is so true. Every event we went to and every show we saw was just the best. It was the best time a person could have, he says. This podcast summed it up well. So, folks, if you hadn't heard it, head over and listen to the Two Chairs No Waiting episode number 396, and you can hear all about Mayberry Days. Now, it's not all about it. It's just the things I knew about. So if you have some great memories from Mayberry Days, call me and let me know, because I'd love to hear from you. Thank you, Tim, for taking time to call in and for writing in as well. I want to thank you so much for just being a friend of the show, and it is always a lot of fun for me. Well, folks, I think that is as much as we're going to try to do tonight. We had some feedback from you. Somebody's calling in right now, obviously, because the phone's ringing. So, folks, I am going to let you go, and I'd love to hear from you. So you can call me, just like that phone was ringing right there. You can give me a call at 888-684-8415, and I'd love to hear from you. It's always great to hear from you guys, hear your voices, and play them for you. I want to thank Jennifer, Jerry, Tim, all you guys that called this week that I was able to play. Thank you so much. It really means a lot. I'm seeing comments on YouTube as well. I'm seeing the comments. So, folks, I am seeing what you're writing, and I do appreciate it. It's always so much fun to see you. We will figure out what we're going to do. We're going to have to skip an episode, probably Halloween. Not going to be doing one that night because I'll be going on the Mayberry Cruise. So make plans to go with us next year on the Mayberry Cruise if you get a chance. Head over to imayberry.com and check out the event calendar for more information. Until next time, folks, drop by over at Weaver's and get yourself something, and we'll see you next time on Two Chairs.